What's wrong, Ashley?
It's too quiet. Callie is up to something.
Oh, stop it.
Why would you think that?
Well, hey!
And there's our answer.
Hi, Callie. Hey, what's with all these new people? Who are you?
Tyler?
Ooh, I remember you. Where's Elena?
Anyway, Callie, what do you want now? No, we're not going to Disney World or Disneyland, so don't ask.
Oh, Rio, I was wondering, so you know Allyson, right?
She voices us, Callie, and we're her characters. Of course I know her.
Oh, okay, that was a stupid question. But I was watching some of her old videos and she talks about having tics, so can you tell me a bit about that?
Well, it's a pretty complicated thing, but basically Tourette syndrome is a neurological condition and it causes people to have involuntary, repetitive twitches of movement and sounds called tics.
Oh, like what Allyson has.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
But
that was a dream, Callie. It didn't happen.
But it did, and it went on for months and months and months and months and...
You shut up. Yes, we know that story already. Thank you.
It was a bad time.
Oh no, really? I had no idea.
Guys, stop, please.
Anyway, tics are often constant and uncontrollable, as well as done unwillingly. There are different ranges of tic disorders, and it can be triggered by different things and can change over time.
Oh yeah, people with Tourette's can sometimes suppress tics for a while, but eventually the tic does happen. There are vocal and motor tics that can range from simple to complex.
Yeah, Tourette's are in the brain due to being a neurological disorder and affects the central nervous system, but it also has influence on peripheral and autonomic activities. It directly affects the neurons of the brain, the central regions of the brain, such as the basal ganglia, frontal lobes, and cortex.
Yeah, well, everyone's different, so if you ever get crap like people saying, oh, well, you have Tourette's, well, my cousin's sister's best friend's husband's brother's sister's dog's great aunt's hairdresser's mailman's neighbor's uncle has Tourette's and he acts nothing like you, don't even listen.
You're so funny, Melissa.
Thank you, I try. So, what really causes this?
Well, it can be caused by a lot of different things. It can be inhibited genetically, or it can be caused by environmental factors. It often begins in early childhood, and kids with Tourette's may have other conditions or mental disorders as well.
Well, that explains a lot. Stop.
Yeah. It can also be triggered by life events or things that one may go through.
Oof.
It also tends to affect boys more than girls, but anyone can get it.
Well, we know that.
Callie, we do not need your commentary every 3 seconds. Cut it out!
Sorry, go on.
So even if it's not caused by genetic factors, then it's most likely caused by complications during pregnancy, being underweight, injury to the head, accidental poisoning, or some kind of inflammation in the brain.
Oh, what about falling down the stairs? Would that do it?
No, not unless the stairs lead to like an open 3-story window onto concrete, then maybe, but even then, highly unlikely. Yeah, so just like the cause depends, the symptoms also depend.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the symptoms of Tourette's are having tics, duh, but vocal and motor tics. Vocal tics are making sounds such as humming, throat clearing, sniffing, grunting, whistling, saying words or phrases, snorting, squealing, yelling, and many more. Yeah, that is also connected to echolalia in repeating words, sounds, or even other tics from other people, and then having them as your own tic that you originally heard from elsewhere. It's also connected to coprolalia, which is actually a rarer form of Tourette's, but it's mainly what's portrayed in movies and stories about it. But it's when one has tics of obscene or bad language.
Shit.
Callie, that was not an invitation to... But yeah, there are several different ranges of tic disorders, but Tourette's syndrome is specifically a disorder for those who have at least 2 motor tics, 1 vocal tic for over a year and before the age of 18. Yeah, and motor tics are involuntary movements such as blinking, jerking, hitting, shrugging, or stomping. There are also mental tics that one has over and over again in the head, or graphia tics, which are in the form of writing or tracing.
That all sounds awful and exhausting.
Oh, it is.
Is it forever?
Well, it depends on the case. Tics get better or worse with time. In a lot of cases, it actually gets better, it gets more mild as one gets older, or goes away completely. Tics can also be made worse due to stress, anxiety, tiredness, sickness, or injury.
Oh, yep, that's another reason Allyson tries to avoid getting sick. I mean, she's already terrified of being sick in general, but being sick triggers her tics into being bad again, and we don't want that.
Yeah, or just being in a triggering situation mentally can cause tics. Yeah, but people with Tourette's also often have other conditions as well, like autism, ADHD, anxiety, depression, OCD, and more. And there can also be physical symptoms that result from tics, like getting hurt from motor tics that can cause and result in like joint pain, back pain, shoulder pain, and more.
Ouch. Yeah, one can also accidentally self-harm by having ticks that can cause accidental burns, cuts, or other injuries. There can also be mental, emotional, and social pain in having ticks due to having a hard time interacting with others, being embarrassed, and having low self-esteem. Well, we know that firsthand.
Yes, Callie, we get it. But yes, those with Tourette's may also not be able to participate in certain things due to inability or risks of getting hurt.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
So, is there any way to cure this?
Well, again, it depends on the case. There's no complete cure 100% for Tourette's, but there are some treatments that can help to manage the severity of the tics. But treatment also depends on how mild or severe the case is.
Oh, so like why Allyson didn't get treatment because like it's not that bad for her.
Yeah, pretty much. But some of the treatments can be medications or behavioral therapy. Therapy and mental health can help, especially if the tics are associated with other mental disorders. So behavioral therapy can also help to manage or suppress the tics better.
But sometimes the cure is not always to stop, but to change. Some other treatments can just help in changing the intensity of the tics or to retrain offensive tics into something else so it does not like offend anyone or sound bad. And this can also help cure some of the social and emotional problems. So can drugs fix the problem?
That sounds wrong, but yes, certain antipsychotic medications can help reduce the severity of tics. A few common medications are like fluvenazine, haloperidol, risperidone, and pimozide, as well as some other certain like anti-seizure medications.
Well, at least that's somewhat good.
It is, but unfortunately, it is really hard for people to get treatment and help nowadays since so many people fake tics as some sort of trend, so then people who really have it don't get believed and they can't get help.
Wow, what bums!
I know, it sucks.
Oh, so those get cute Tourette's now subliminals are fake?
What the heck? Yes, obviously. First of all, how would that even work? And second of all, who would try and get tics on purpose? I don't know, but a lot of people seem to think it's like cutesy or funny or something.
That sucks. I know Allyson got fake claimed a lot. That's not fair. Hey, didn't like her ex-boyfriend actually fake?
Yes, Callie, but we don't talk about that.
Rat.
But yeah, because of people faking it and accusing others, treatment is sadly more difficult these days.
I know, but I guess it's understandable. A lot of people do fake it nowadays, as scummy as that is.
But there are a lot of people who are actually diagnosed with it?
Yes, in fact, it is estimated that 0.5 to 1% of people are diagnosed with Tourette's, but there are also several undiagnosed cases.
Yeah, and 83% of people who are diagnosed with Tourette's are also diagnosed with at least one other additional disorder.
That's a lot, but it does make sense.
Boys are also more likely to have tics than girls, with the ratio of boys with Tourette's is 77.6%.
How can we illustrate that better?
Well, this shows the classification of tics as well as the severity of them, vocal, motor, simple, and complex.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then this image shows more of the reductive changes that come from tics within the brain and affects the striatum.
Oh yeah, and then this video by Neuroscientifically Challenged on YouTube, which you can find at youtube.com/dot/watch/.
Callie, like I told you before, we know how a website works. Thank you.
Oh, but this video demonstrates the neuroscience behind Tourette's still being looked into, and research shows that Tourette's is often involved with structures in the brain, mainly the basal ganglia, which causes diverse brain functions and attempts to suppress the unwanted actions. And the increased activity in the basal ganglia causes tics, but it also attempts to inhibit the neurons from sending movement signals, and that's one of the main ideas of the whole neural system.
Yes, that's actually good, Callie.
There are also a lot of recent articles on the topic.
Yes, like this one, which is 5 latest advancements in Tourette's syndrome research from May of 2023.
Yeah, it discusses that there is research being done to discover the connection between brain chemicals being dysregulated and how it affects Tourette's syndrome, and this leads to a lot of recent advancements in the research.
Yeah, so there's a new diagnostic tool that is helping greatly with research.
Oh, what's the purpose of it?
Well, getting a diagnosis of Tourette's can take a long time, as other conditions and past experiences must be looked into, but this new tool is going to make getting a diagnosis for Tourette's a lot faster and easier. So basically, professors documented the occurrence in Tourette's in kids and recognized problems of the chaos of patterns in environmental systems. And it was determined that the chaos is not random, but it has a set pattern. So they started timing the frequency of tics and measuring the means to quantify the chaos, and that was called a fractal dimension. The fractal dimension's value was calculated and determined that as the tic score went up, the fractal dimension would fall, showing the inverse relationship between the two. And it's now used for doctors in order to measure the tic duration and to give a quicker diagnosis, which can mean sooner treatment, more positive results, and more determined cases. There's also a new wrist device that can help with the severity of tics in those who have more moderate and severe cases of Tourette's by reducing the frequency of the tics. Their company targets neurological disorders that develop this new pulse device and this electric band that delivers electrical pulses that are set to lower the number of tics. It worked greatly to improve and reduce tic severity and bring the tics down. The study is also based upon the effects of electrical stimulation in the median nerve, and it elicits rhythmic activity from the brain and decreases the intensity of tics.
Another part is about a new drug that's looking like a positive outcome to be effective for a form of Tourette's treatment. Ecopipam is used to bring down tic scores and reduces tics from the original baseline. It also works in blocking the dopamine that targets the symptoms.
As well as another thing that's being looked into and developed is therapy with closed-loop deep brain stimulation. The therapy was used to work in treating Parkinson's disease, but it's now working and developing in treating Tourette's, which helps to reduce the tics greatly in under 6 months. It's involved inflammation of electrodes in certain regions in the brain to modulate communication and deliver impulses to where the symptoms are present, and to cut down on the energy required. So in March of 2023, there was a completed production of the drug that was trialed for treating Tourette's, and it was used to treat other side effects like decades ago, but now it can possibly target tic symptoms. So it was used to stimulate the receptors in the central nervous system to improve the uptake of THC. The candidate is now being studied in diagnosis for the participants on the trial to see how it will work going ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but good that there's research. I'm sure some people could, get help with that.
Yeah, maybe.
There are also a lot of online communities that give information on Tourette's and help people to connect and support each other, and where people can donate as well for research, like Tourette's Association of America and other research sites. The website also gives us advice for children, help them feel better in school, not get bullied, and then information for teens to manage their conditions through tough times, and how parents and caregivers can take care of their children, support them, and more.
Wow. Are you being sarcastic or serious?
Serious, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess that explains Allison's life, somewhat. Well, maybe not quite to that extent. How did Allison even live with tics? I need some backstory lore here.
Fine. Well, it all started one day when Allison was 5 years old and she did this very strange noise.
Ooh.
And then she did it over and over and couldn't stop.
Oh no!
So she went to her parents, as you do at that age, and she said she thought she was dying. At first, her parents thought she was just saying that, but then they realized what was going on and they went to get help eventually.
Ooh.
And then she went through the first few early years of school with tics that were pretty bad, but she tried to ignore it even though people questioned her.
Oh no!
But then in grade 5, and for the next couple of years, she got better!
Yay!
But then in grade 7, for a couple months in the winter, it got bad again. Kind of bad at school, but it was mostly bothering her when she was trying to sleep.
Oh no!
But then around the spring and summer, it got better!
Yay!
And then she was fine for a few years. It made her real paranoid during COVID though, because a lot of people thought that she had it.
Oh no!
But then it went away for a while.
Yay!
But then during the last month of grade 9, it kind of got bad again.
Oh no!
But then it went away.
Yay!
And then she was fine until after Christmas in grade 10, which was just no.
Oh no!
So that was really painful, very embarrassing, and just a really bad time. So it went on like that for months, but then legit the day after they got out of school for the summer, out of nowhere, it just switched off.
Oh, what?
So in some ways, it was good that it stopped. It still didn't make up for the embarrassment, but it was fine. People were mostly understanding, which was good, because, well, I assume it was quite annoying.
Yeah.
And then she was worried that when she started grade 11, it would get bad again, but thankfully it didn't.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so ever since, and today, she's a lot better. She still has it, of course, and well, always will. But it's a lot more mild and less noticeable now. Like, now she'll tick like every few hours as opposed to every few seconds like she was doing. Or sometimes she will get triggered a bit by doing certain things, so she has to be careful, but it's not usually too bad.
That's really good!
Yep, and then she made some videos about it, found some understanding people, and it's been good.
Yay! So there's a happy ending after all!
Yep, so as long as it stays good, knock on wood, we'll be just fine. It was tough, but she got through it, and she's happier and better now.
Oh, yay!
But she does have this little rock thing that her friend gave her in grade 7, and apparently it's supposed to help with having tics and being anxious. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what we were told, and she always felt like it helped. She used to sleep with it under her pillow, but now she just has it, so yeah.
Wow, this has been quite the story. Thanks, guys.
No problem, Callie, and yeah, screw those who fake claim or whatever.
Yuppers. Anyway, I'm gonna go do something else now, so, bye!
Wow, that went better than I expected. Yeah. I knew it'd be fine.
But just to clarify, are you sure you mean no going to Disney World?
No, Callie. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, man.